Well, ladies and gentlemen, as most of you will know, it was St. George's Day yesterday. If you did celebrate it, I hope you had a good time. You know, it makes me think back to my primary school days where we all came together, celebrated it, wore the face paint with the flag on, and everybody was patriotic about the country they were living in our lovely, stunning, and brave modern society we're living in right now. It's not really the case, is it? And celebrating such a day is viewed as mean, hateful, it's not inclusive enough. You know how it goes. But yesterday really did highlight an issue among the many others we've got going on in our country right now, and that is the police acting differently depending on who is causing trouble or whatever. And apparently that is, you know, controversial to say now. You can't call that out, even though you can see it with your own eyes. People want you to pretend it doesn't exist. There were clashes with police at a St. George's rally yesterday, and it has raised the questions of, would the police act differently if it was a, I don't know, BLM march or something, or more recently, a pro-Palestine march? I think we all know the answer, and that is because in our woke society today, celebrating St. George's Day, everything associated with that, is on the wrong side of the political spectrum, and the police are acting on the side of the woke leftists, the woke liberals. Now, before I get into it any further, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, follow my socials down below in the description, and let's get into it. St. George's Day rally in London descends into chaos. Riot cops clash with crowds as police horse is attacked near Downing Street and speakers blast out Sweet Caroline. Sweet Caroline, sorry, I had to do that. After protesters slammed Met's two-tier policing for pro-Palestine marches, mounted police intervened after a group broke through a cordon formed to stop people moving past the area that had been allocated for the event. This led to scuffles breaking out, with footage appearing to show one of the horses being struck by a man with an umbrella. The shameful violence happened just before the main rally at 3 p.m, where Tommy Robinson and Lawrence Fox joined crowds singing along to songs including Sweet Caroline. The Met said officers were forced to respond when a group violently forced through police blockades, but it prompted some to claim of two-tier policing. I'm not too sure about that one, with attendees suggesting pro-Palestine marchers were treated more favorably. Now, of course, a horse getting attacked, anybody getting attacked, is wrong. You never want to see it, but it just is the truth, and we shouldn't shy away from the truth. The police do act differently depending on who is causing the trouble. Again, as I said, we've seen it many times now. You know, when a pro-Palestine march gets heated or whatever, sometimes the police do nothing. Yet if it was a more conservative protest on something, you know, they wouldn't get away with that. And I'm not saying, you know, people on different sides can't protest. I'm all for peaceful protests, etc., etc. But when a group is treated more differently, then I have a huge issue. It's even the same with Just Stop Oil. You know, the police do nothing. They allow them to do what they want to do. And yet, you know, anything associated with, you know, the right side of things, or even St. George's Day, whatever, the police act more harshly. Everybody should be treated the same when it comes to, you know, a protest or whatever getting more violent, more heated. But we see time and time again, it just isn't the case. But here is the footage of these clashes taking place at the St. George's Day rally. As you can see, things are way too intense, and it's something, again, you never want to see. The police, though, in these videos are dressed for the part, aren't they? In their riot gear, horses, etc., etc. I'm not too sure if they really needed all of that. Maybe it's for show, you know, so when the mainstream media put the pictures in their articles, the average person sees that and thinks, oh, the people at the St. George's rally are terrible. But this is what the Met Police posted on X. Later today, an event to mark St. George's Day is expected to take place on Richmond Terrace off Whitehall. We believe those planning to attend include far-right groups and groups linked to football clubs travelling from elsewhere in the UK. Additional policing resources, including public order officers, will be deployed in the area to deal with any incidents. They are supported by colleagues from the British Transport Police and the City of London Police. The officers' primary role is to ensure the safety of participants and the public, but they will not hesitate to respond in the event of disorderly behaviour or other offences. The groups are gathering in the Waterloo area prior to joining the event in Whitehall. Officers are in the area to respond to any incidents. A number of people have been seen in the area wearing masks. A Section 60 AA order giving officers the power to require the removal of face coverings is now enforced in the boroughs of Lambeth and Westminster. A Section 60 order giving officers additional search powers is also enforced in the same area to prevent crime and disorder. The event is not due to start for an hour, and regrettably officers are already dealing with the disorder. This is an area allocated for the event in Richmond Terrace. The group went past it and continued up Whitehall. When officers formed a cordon and asked the group to turn around, they reacted violently by forcing their way through. Mounted officers intervened with horses to restore the cordon. Now again, Obviously, you don't want to see this going down. You don't want to see people clashing. But the security that is being put in place here, the section orders, almost never happens when it's a march associated with anything on the left side of things. If this is a BLM march or anything associated with the liberal side of things, we all know they wear masks, but you never see them putting these section orders in. And you know what? They wouldn't use the same language either. They would never call these people far left. They never say that. But when it's people attending a St. George's Day rally, far right groups will be attending, but by the left's definition of things, if you disagree with anything, you are far right. But when you put that word in there, people just assume, everybody going is far right or whatever. The language being used is not good either. But this is where I want to show you the clear difference in policing. And again, this is controversial to say any of this because you're not allowed to question what the police do, apparently. There was a riot during Eid and the police turned up, but they acted nothing like you saw in that St. George's Day rally when they were clashing with people. This was Nigel Farage on GB News speaking about it all. Take a listen.
Good evening. I was sent some pictures this morning on Facebook and elsewhere showing me disturbances that had taken place, quite serious disturbances that had taken place in Southall in West London last night. I looked at it and thought, can this actually be true? And I say that because it wasn't being reported by British media organisations. Was this something perhaps that happened a few years ago? Had I missed it? But no, absolutely not. Last night was Eid, where people celebrate the end of the fast of Ramadan. And of course, Southall has always had a very, very high percentage of people who originate from South Asia. Well, I'm afraid it was all true. Have a look at these very disturbing scenes from the streets of London last night. Well, as you can see, very, very large numbers of people gathered, and suddenly things start to fly. Bricks, bottles, pieces of wood. The police, not dressed at this stage in riot gear, though later on in the evening they were dressed in riot gear. Clearly quite a dangerous situation. Only, as I understand it, one arrest made. But these pictures do show something about what is going on in our country. The complete breakdown of law and order on London streets. And what's more, cultures, non-British cultures, who just take over our streets on a regular basis.
I mean, Nigel is spot on there, like with most things, but as you saw as well, the police just stood there whilst they were having large, planks of wood being thrown at them. Now, if that happened at the St. George's Day rally, oh my word, could you imagine the difference? First of all, it would be in the mainstream media for weeks. Conveniently, that riot, that clash we just saw, didn't make really any headlines. It was only, I think, GB News and maybe one other that covered it. But if it was the other way around, people would be arrested, right? As they should be. But as you heard, only one person was arrested whilst that riot was taking place. So when the average British person sees that, how can they deny, favoritism isn't going on? Of course, if they're voting Labour in the next election, then they'll deny, even though they can see it. Wait, what? No, I can't see that going on. Let's look over there. That's how they act. I mean, let's just even move away from what took place on St. George's Day. Throughout the day yesterday, on these news platforms or whatever, there were discussions on, is the England flag racist? St. George's Day isn't inclusive. It doesn't include people from all races. And people were going back and forth. Should we celebrate it? Should we change the England flag? Which, by the way, if you don't like the England flag, get out the country. But, these discussions just show where we're at right now. But leave your thoughts down below, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think the police act differently depending on who is causing the trouble? And if you do, let me know why you think it goes on. And if you don't, well, leave your comments down below. Tell me why I'm in the wrong for saying the police act differently and everybody else saying it as well. Leave all of them down below. I'm interested to see regardless. But if you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, follow my socials down below in the description. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out.